How many of you have heard that song, Tell Me Lies, Tell Me Sweet Lies? We're not lying today, and I'm never gonna lie to you. That's the important thing. I got Jeb on camera. I told you, based on the John Prosock that we were talking about before, we need to know the details. We have to know the details. We talk pallet change a lot, but there are some incredible details that set JTEKT apart, aren't there, Jeb?
Yes.
I wanna know about those. I'm ready to learn some more. Give it to me. We know pallet change is important. We know it's the evolution. We know it keeps the spindle turning. We know we can do high mix, low volume. We know a lot of things about pallet change systems, but what sets JTEKT apart? Why do we amplify their voice today?
I would say two things, cross-generational hookup and software. So those two things kind of lead the industry as far as the capability to expand in the future and also control the system itself.
All right, well, obviously we have to know more because those are fun words and they have details to them for sure. So let's talk about cross-generational to start. What does that actually mean?
So what that means is we can install this system as a standalone 2-pallet machine today, and down the road, say a year, when you get some more cash flow and the capability to upgrade the system, we can add the pallet system to the machine. Let's say down the road you want to add an additional machine to the system. As you spoke of before, we can add a second machine to the system. Even if it's 5-10 years down the road, Toyota guarantees that that capability will be there in the future. Two things make that possible: pallet height to floor and the clamping mechanism under the pallet. So as long as you stick with a 550 millimeter machine, you will be able to add a machine to that system in the future. And then you can actually remove a machine and then put another machine on. So basically your pallet system, the investment in this FMS system or pallet system is going to be a good investment for many, many, many years. Not 5, 10, 15, 20 years, but even 30 or 40 years, which we actually have customers running that way today.
You do have clients running this way already?
We do.
Oh, that's incredible. So I'm thinking to myself, I know I need it, but it's a big investment. But if I'm going to keep this thing and I can continually maybe rotate out the latest and greatest software or technology to go along with it, because this is more or less a storage unit, right? I mean, there's some capabilities that help us move things quicker, organize better as a general rule, which JTEKT is great at, but as an idea, a concept, it's holding material until we're ready to cut it.
Correct. Yeah, basically a complex storage unit. And that mechanical mechanism can remain for, like I said, many, many years. We can update the software, we can update the machines. So basically, once you invest in this piece of equipment, the pallet system, you're good for many, many years in the future.
Huh, I love that.
Yep.
I love that we're able to do that because so many people might hesitate based on price. But if we can give them a good ROI like you're doing, amazing. Let's jump into the software a little bit, right? Because I don't like to argue, Jeb. I'm not sure if you're an arguer. So I always say I like to make the discussion. Right. I like to make the discussion that probably the digital world right now is the next evolution of manufacturing. When we can understand, when we have AI, when we can do predictable maintenance, all of these things that go into understanding what's really happening inside our machines. And JTEKT sets themselves apart in the world of the software when it comes to this whole unit coming together for people out there who are interested in investing in the machine, right? Can you go into the details of that?
Correct. I can hit a little bit on the details. Basically, being JTEKT's background, the automotive side of things, we all know Toyota Motors, the machinery side, basically the development of the machine tools, one of the main purposes of the machinery division is to support the automotive production side of things. So you don't always have to think of Toyota as a machine tool builder. You actually think of it as a manufacturing company to support their other mechanisms within their company. So the software side of things, a lot of time and investment goes into being able to run that lights out, to be able to schedule, to be able to assign individual pallets to individual tools, and the way the work travels with the pallet itself, the program travels with the pallet. So it's a little bit different than some of the systems out there.
If you were going to sell me or explain to me, because I know you come from an engineering background, the difference is when I'm saying, okay, I'm thinking about giving this machine a go, what would you say the software allows me to do, allows me to create that maybe I can't do in other places? What would you say are my advantages?
I would say some of the other systems don't allow for the capability of, they all allow a redundant tooling, but our system may be a little bit smarter as far as the capabilities go. If you break a tool, we would know which pallet can still run with that tool broken if we don't have a redundant tool in the magazine. So some of the capabilities of you know, running lights out, the worst thing that's going to happen is you go home at 6:30 at night, hoping that the next day you come in and you have a completed pallet pool completed and, you know, parts ready to unload and set up the next day. The worst thing to happen is you break a tool at 6:30 or 6:45 right after you leave, and the machine ends up sitting all night because it doesn't know what to do with that tool now not usable in the system. So, you know, the Toyota software has the capability to either go to a redundant tool, which is common, but also understand which pallets are not able to run without that tool in the magazine.
You know what's worse than not running? A scrap part in the morning.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Especially with the expensive material and the size of this stuff from time to time. Well, I appreciate that. Is there anything else that you think stands out, or we really covered it with the generational piece and the software that helps our audience really understand, look, we're looking at pallet changes, the JTEKT way might be the right way?
Right. I would say service and support as well. So,
oh,
I mean,
good answer.
Yeah, you really got to look at that side. JTEKT as an organization is very capable of supporting the whole mechanism and system. They basically design the software. It's a single source. So again, getting into the competition, a lot of the competition is using a secondary vendor to supply their software, to supply their system. Toyota is a single source. If you have any issues or you have anything that you need to really figure out and dig in and understand the system's complexity and the control side of things, Toyota JTEKT is really, really good at and understanding. They know the software better because it is their own software.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That's so important to understand. All right, my friend, you're off the hot seat. I appreciate you. For those of you watching, this is to support that amazing customer testimonial we had with Ken. And if you haven't seen that video, please tune in. And if you have seen that video, this video was made to support that video. What we're trying to do is make sure there's a foundation for everyone out there to understand both the success that customers are having out there, but also the reasons why they're having the success and the differences as well. And as Jeb just mentioned, as we close this out, customer support may be, at the end of the day, the most important thing to consider when it comes to setting up something that might be new to us. So Jeb is the man. I'm happy to be here. Thank you all for watching. I hope you're happy to be here as well. We'll see you again next time.